Hey, welcome back to Scorpion Insights. I'm Jamie Adams, and today I'm really excited to have my good friend and colleague, Amber Smith. Amber, you've been at Scorpion for just over 5 years or so, and I know you spent a lot of time working with employment law attorneys. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty niche group, right? So we've talked with criminal defense specialists, we've talked with family law specialists, we've talked with some personal injury specialists. I want to really hone in on employment law specifically. So when you're talking to an employment law attorney, how are you actually advising them on how to think about a digital marketing strategy? Like, where does that conversation start?
There's a couple of different places that can start. I think in the beginning, you always have to understand what someone's goals are.
Because what the firm's goals are.
What the firm's goals are. Yep. So in general, understanding what the firm's goals are going to help us to navigate what the right strategy is for them.
Okay.
With employment law, there's a couple of interesting points. So the first is with most employment attorneys, they're targeting the whole state, or they can target the whole state. So they may have an office in Podunk Town, Northern California.
Yep.
They don't really want clients.
I've never been to Podunk Town, California, but
it's new. You should travel there sometime. Quite the destination.
But small town, Northern California, so they may have an office there. Okay.
Yeah. But that's not where they're targeting. It's where their office is. It's where they live. Okay. They want clients from San Diego or Los Angeles or from San Francisco.
Yeah.
And so that's the first place that we have to really start is, one, where do you want your clients from?
Okay, yep.
Because then that determines, do we focus on organic? Do we focus on paid advertising?
Yeah.
Or do we focus on everything?
Yeah, so we're talking about, again, like the niche and the uniqueness of employment law versus some of the other practice areas I mentioned earlier, like criminal defense. Most criminal defense attorneys, most family law attorneys, they really want their cases to come from, 10 to 25 or 30 miles from their actual office location. Employment law, much broader spectrum of where they're trying to pull cases from, right? So the small town, like they're going to maybe get some organic traffic from that area, but man, it's really hard for the firm, and you called it Podunk, California, the small town, Northern California. They're not really going to rank for employment law in San Diego searches organically. So they're going to have to spend money in advertising there. Okay, so that makes sense. Like what their goals are and where they want to get cases from is kind of step one in understanding what's the right strategy. What are some other things you typically ask to kind of help guide them in the right direction?
There's a lot of other questions. So with employment law, there's several different areas that you can focus on.
Okay.
You have some firms that they focus on everything from discrimination, sexual harassment, wrongful termination, wage and hour. They do both individual cases and they do class action cases. Mm-hmm. So if you have a firm that does everything, you're definitely going to have a more comprehensive approach.
Yeah.
And then you have other firms that all they do is class actions. And that is a huge niche within itself.
Yeah.
Because it's much different than trying to get like a divorce case on.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because obviously class action, you got to pull in and find a lot of different people that have the same complaint against the same group, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes sense. So just, again, this is more, I know you're not an employment law attorney, but you do help them market their business. You do help them grow their revenue and grow their reputation through acquiring more cases. The best firms that you work with in that employment law space, are they kind of the broad, will do anything? Or do you find the best firms kind of niche down and focus on specific types of cases or specific types of situations?
So that's a good question, and it's a little bit difficult to answer. I would say overall, if you don't have a huge budget, it's probably better to
take a huge marketing budget?
Marketing budget,
okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
A huge marketing budget. Then it's better to take anything and everything that comes your way.
Okay.
But if you have a bigger budget, then you can go more niche. You just have to understand, one of the other unique things about employment law is that it's not like, oh, hey, I want to get a divorce. Let me go search for a divorce attorney. Or I just got in a car accident. I need an attorney. Let me go look for a personal injury attorney.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people that may or may not have a case. You can have Joe Blow over here. My names are great today, aren't they?
I love it. Podunk. Like small town Podunk and Joe Blow. It's awesome. All right. So you can have
You can have Joe Blow.
Joe Blow, Jane Doe, whatever you want to call the person. Yeah. Okay.
So you can have this guy who he's shown up to work late 10 times and then he cussed out of his boss. He got fired for a reason, but he still thinks he has a case. So he calls. So that is something that you have to always stress. I mean, whether you're getting referrals, which referrals are always going to be better quality, or you're getting cases from your online presence, the number and the percentage of cases that or leads that actually turn into cases is really low. You're talking about like under 5%.
Got it. So you're actually going to have to invest the attorney's going to have to invest more time in the process, actually helping the potential person figure out, do I actually have a case or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is fascinating. Again, I think it just shows like the importance of like a unique strategy, because like you said, I mean, that is a very different customer journey than the customer journey of someone looking for a criminal defense attorney, or they were injured in a car accident looking for a personal injury attorney. So that makes a lot of sense. So a couple of things I just want to recap: nuances and differences in defining a marketing strategy. Number one, understanding the practice's goals. Like, what are they trying to accomplish? What types of cases do they want? Understanding where they want to get cases from, because that's going to dictate, should they invest more in SEO versus advertising? Again, the example I think that you used was, most employment law attorneys, you don't want to just get cases from the market that they're in. They want to get cases from the entire state, which typically means you're gonna have to spend some money in paid advertising. And then I think the third is like, okay, if you're strapped for budget, gotta be willing to take anything and everything at first. And then if you start to kind of get some more money and you can start to niche down, look for maybe areas of opportunity to do that. Any other kind of high level things as your kind of scoping strategy that you think are really relevant for employment law attorneys?
Absolutely.
All right,
There's
more.
always
But
more.
wait, there's more.
Always.
But wait, there's more. I love it. Okay.
Okay, so I think another thing to think about whenever you're an employment attorney, one of the things, and this is part of the reason why I decided to focus on employment law, I think that the work that employment attorneys are doing is like much needed. And I think part of the problem with employment law is that people don't understand what their rights are.
Yeah.
So they don't realize, hey, I have a problem at work, I can do something about it.
Yeah.
So I think one of the most powerful pieces that someone can do for their marketing is educational. So whether that is social media marketing, whether that is, I definitely suggest video.
Yeah.
You've
yeah.
got to educate people, because the more they understand, hey, there's something that I can do about my problem, then they're going to
Yeah, so like an example of
action.
that could be like taking common topics that come up that people often seek legal advice or counsel around, and actually having kind of thematic videos on your website
Yeah.
that are like FAQ oriented. That makes a lot of sense. Do you see a lot of employment attorneys taking advantage of social media and video and things of that nature?
Yes, more so than before.
Okay.
I think employment attorneys have been a little bit slow to come on board with internet marketing. When I started here 5 years ago, most of the conversations that I had were like, oh, we get everything from referral.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that was you battled that for a long time, like
Yeah.
getting momentum and convincing them that no, this is actually another channel where you could actually generate cases.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was kind of the wild, wild west. The people that got in on that first, they saw a great profit come from it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now everybody's like, oh, okay, maybe I should do this online marketing thing. Because with referrals, you always have the risk of losing referrals.
Yeah.
Referrals are inconsistent. So sometimes you have a lot and sometimes you don't have a lot. And so if you're wanting to even out your practice and have more consistency in cases coming in, your online presence is important.
Makes perfect
And
sense.
think about COVID. What did COVID do? COVID raised our awareness of, hey, I'm not always going to be able to like get cases from, not necessarily from referrals, but it's not going to always be in person.
Yeah.
We're going to need to now expand out and say, okay, how can I make my brand known so maybe people that I don't already know or attorneys that I don't already know
Yeah.
can start sending me cases?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Awesome insights. So much great information in this. Thanks for joining this segment of Scorpion Insights. We got a lot more coming your way, specifically for you employment law attorneys. So come back, join us for next time. Until then, we hope you have a great day.